4 dogs, 1 cat,
A fish, a couple fish,
a bird.
a bird.
Was she always the type that said, "Mommy and Daddy, look what I found"?
She just keeps bringing them home, yeah.
Yeah,
they-
right.
They've always liked dogs. And then our oldest is out of school, married. She's a medical assistant.
Oh, wow.
So,
You got some family.
and then she just had a baby, so we're actually grandparents.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Exciting, a little boy.
Yeah?
Yeah, 3 daughters and now a little boy.
Oh, now finally a boy in the family.
Yeah, right. It's really fun.
That's great.
But he's only 5 months old, so
It's-
you can have a lot of fun with a 5-month-old, but still,
course.
it's
But once they become more interactive, then you can have more more guy talk and
yeah.
Awesome. Okay, so I guess we're rolling. So would you guys tell me your names and how you spell it?
My name is Lisa Hill. It's Lisahill.
And I'm Donald Hill, Donaldhill.
Great. And so tell me a little bit about yourselves. What do you guys do? What do you guys like to do for fun?
Go ahead.
Well, no, I'm a school teacher. I work at West Seattle High School, and I teach kids with special needs. In the summertime, I work as a national park ranger. I think one of those pictures was showed me in my uniform, and I just thought that was kind of a fun picture of our family. We like to hike and camp, and what else do we like to do, Lisa?
Walk our dogs. Yeah.
Walk our dogs, spend time with our family.
So what do you guys like to do on your free time? As a couple, what do you guys like to do on your free time?
Well, we haven't had a whole lot lately, unfortunately.
We'd like to travel.
Yeah,
We've been to Ecuador and other places around the world, and it's been lots of fun, and it's been very enjoyable to learn about other cultures.
Great. How long have you two been married?
26 years. I'll help you out, honey.
I'm sorry, could you repeat rephrase my question?
Yeah.
So,
Oh, we've been married.
sorry, one more
Okay,
time. How long have you guys been married?
we've been married 26 years.
And so tell me how it started. How did you guys meet, and when did you guys know it was love? So, one moment.
Lisa and I met, I was a school teacher at Lowell Elementary.
And thank you.
Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was a school teacher. Lisa and I met at a elementary school. I was a school teacher. Lisa was a student nurse. And the last day of her experience at Lowell Elementary, I thought, well, I'm either going to ask her out or I'm going to miss out. So I asked Lisa out, and she said yes. And that was kind of the beginning of our infatuation and love with each other.
That's awesome. When you guys were dating, what kind of stuff did you guys like doing together?
Well, we still do the hiking, the walking, roller skating, if you can believe that. That was our first date. Oh gosh.
Spent a lot of time with friends. Had a number of parties, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
When we
We're
first
always
met.
socializing. Yeah. So we eat out a lot with friends, and
So when did you guys think to yourselves, wow, you are the one?
I realized it in southeastern Idaho. I was driving through a thunderstorm. My car got hit by lightning. I promised my higher power that if I lived through this experience, that I would ask Lisa to marry me. She was a traveling nurse at the time in Texas, and so I found a hotel room. I was pretty shaken up, shocked, and so I called her up and asked her to marry me. And that was probably about 2 years into our relationship.
Lisa, how did that make you feel? I'm sorry, go ahead.
I do remember that. But I remember even before we started dating that I was very attracted to Don, and I knew almost from the beginning that this was the man I wanted to marry. So when he asked me out, it was kind of put me in a whole nother world, because your crush is not supposed to ask you out. But anyway, and just the things we enjoyed doing together, the comfort of being with him, and with his park service in the summertime, we haven't spent a summer in Seattle, I think, for 30-some years. So again, just the outdoors and just the healthy activities that we did from the very beginning. And I didn't meet him in a bar, so that was kind of fun. And just being a teacher was great.
So how did you feel when he asked you to marry you?
Well, I was really, really excited. Really, really excited. I was doing some traveling with another friend for some nursing, but I was also at a point where that was something I was really excited to be doing. I mean, I was 24 and I was ready. So, and he had met my family and we were very connected. So, very excited. And the story about what motivated him actually is well documented because he wrote a letter to my parents. So, it's all really true.
That's a great
So-
story. And so then you got married, and then you had children.
We had our children right away.
I got pregnant 6 months later.
6 months later, or was it 6 months earlier? I don't
No, Don is a twin, and his twin brother and wife had a baby. And so when we got married, I wanted one too, and our kids have grown up together, but it was 6 months later that we started our family.
And then you had 2 more, and you're very close family.
I would consider us a very close family. Yes, yes.
Yeah, my brother and I have always been very close. As twins, I guess that's what you do. You're close.
But I come from a big family, and we're all in the Seattle area. My parents, I grew up on Capitol Hill, and Don's a smaller family, but it's always been a priority for us.
Great. And so let's jump into it. Tell me about Don, I believe, has a snoring problem.
Oh my gosh. For years. His snoring has kind of progressively gotten worse. I'd say maybe over the last 10 years. And we still have a full bed size, not a queen or a king. And so, but I work from home now as a nurse, and I get off work at 2 a.m. And I have to close our bedroom door and my office door sometimes because the snoring is so bad. And then I don't go to bed till 2 o'clock in the morning. And 9 out of 10 of those nights, I could not fall asleep in our bedroom. So I was sleeping in a bed in my office for a long time.
How long?
Well, intermittently, probably I'd say for the last 3 or 4 years, depending. If I'm working, I would a lot of times sleep in the office. If I wasn't working, I would try to get to bed and asleep before he even came to bed. So it was kind of a nightly kind of ordeal. And even when I was sleeping in the bed, I had to wake him up so many times to roll off his back. Sometimes I just have to get really upset. I mean, I just would be so frustrated. He'd get up and do a spray and put a strip on his nose and go drink some water, put an extra pillow under his head. I mean, it would just be, it was just such a way of life. It was just what it was every night. We went to a couple seminars. We talked to a lot of different people who everywhere we went, they took it as far and they ended up with a CPAP. And so we actually went on to a seminar about the CPAP. And we left there and he said, I am not wearing a CPAP. I mean, we've had friends come visit us and stay at our house and bring their CPAPs. And anyway, so we tried a lot of different things.
And have any of those different things worked?
Never.
Well, no, you can't say that. I mean, I've tried them all, the strips, the sprays, the pills, all of it, and none of them have worked. Well, one did. It was a spray. That worked. I didn't snore, but I couldn't sleep either because it was like one of those products that has antihistamine in it. And so I was just awake all night
Well,
long.
that's why you weren't snoring then.
Yeah, that's right. And Lisa was very happy about that.
So when you guys were sleeping in separate rooms, in separate beds, Don, how did it make you feel that you couldn't, sleep together, be intimate with your wife because of your snoring?
Kind of frustrated because, it would be night after night after night. And she'd say, oh, Don, you're snoring, wake up, and she'd hit me, maybe a half a dozen times in the first hour. Then she'd leave the bed. And so it was very difficult to not be intimate with Lisa and close because I'd roll over and I'd grab for her and I'd grab a pillow and bring it over to me rather than my wife. And so obviously it really did become a challenge, and it started to put a wedge in between the two of us in our relationship.
Explain that to me.
Well, when neither of us are getting good night's sleep, when one is sleeping in the other room, we have a tendency to be a little bit more agitated with one another, and not quite as kind toward one another on a daily basis because we're both sleep deprived. And I felt bad about that for Lisa more than myself because I seem to be able to get through it on a daily basis, but Lisa was always dreading going to bed if I got to bed first. So,
Well, and sometimes at nighttime, I would get settled into my office. I would be asleep. It's a bed. I mean, I would be sound asleep. And he'd come in and say, "Why are you sleeping in here? Come back into our room." And so now he wakes me up. So I can remember clearly just that frustration, and I don't get a lot of sleep. I mean, because I go to bed late and have to get up early a lot of times. So just frustration with the whole thing. But then the next day would come and you kind of get through the day. And so it actually just kind of, over time, it's like it just becomes a way of life. But it was important to Don that I was not sleeping in our bed. But he would come to wake me up when I was finally asleep, for that invitation to come back to our bed. So.
Did you feel that there was? Thank you. Did you feel like there was a breaking point? A breaking point to this problem?
Well, for me, the breaking point was when I started working at home. 3 years ago, I moved from the on-site where I was at a call center, that I set a bed up in our room. So I no longer was out on the couch or down in one of my daughter's rooms. I had a bed, and the intent was to be able to have a good night's sleep. So since then, and all the different things that Don has tried, I would just laugh. He had one that he would strap around his face, and it was like, oh, another gadget. And I knew by the end of the week that was not going to be the solution. So anyway, that was the backup plan, was to have my own place to sleep.
But then came ZQuiet. Tell me about that.
then came ZQuiet. That, I saw the ad for it. I saw the commercial it was on a website, and it caught my attention immediately. And I thought, well, I'm sure it's going to be another product that works for some people, many it doesn't. So I gave it a try, and after the second night, well, Lisa, you can say, after the second night.
Yeah, no, it was, I didn't even pay any attention, because truly it was just another, oh my goodness, another gadget. And I couldn't imagine a mouth guard making any difference in his snoring. So didn't pay a whole lot of attention. I don't think I even asked how much he paid for it. But then a couple nights into it, because he can't really talk when it's in his mouth, so I knew when it was in it, a couple nights into this, I wasn't leaving the bed. I was actually waking up with a full night of sleep. And so then I asked him, and then what was happening as he was first getting to use the ZQuiet is that his jaw ached, so it took a while to build up to it. And I could tell you when he took it out of his mouth, because he would start snoring, I'd wake up and ask him, and he said, well, I had to take it out. So this was during the first week.
It took some time getting used to it.
Kind of getting used to it, but I could almost tell you as soon as he took it out of his mouth the difference it made. So, and he's working out of town this summer, and last weekend he came home without it. So we had 3 nights of his snoring, and all of that frustration came back. I'm kind of getting spoiled now. Like, you start forgetting that you have to make plan A and B to get out of bed with the snoring, but.
And remarkably, this morning, I wore it last night. No snoring. I woke up at 7. I thought, well, I'm going to get up early this morning and get some things done. And so I took it out of my mouth and I fell back to sleep. And Lisa said, Dawn, where's your ZQuiet? Are you wearing the ZQuiet?
Because I work till 2, and so at 7 in the morning, I'm still trying to sleep.
And I said, well, no, I took it out. I was going to get up, but I fell back to sleep. It was that significant of a change.
No, it works. It really works.
Yeah, the ZQuiet. What's really nice about it is I feel much better now that Lisa doesn't have to wake me up 6 times a night. Now she wakes me up because she wants to. Sometimes. So that's nice.
I think he's trying to be funny. Can we like erase that part?
It's all on tape.
Oh my God.
But it really
Anyway.
has helped a lot, you know. And my jobs, I need to be sharp, I need to be on, and the ZQuiet has helped me to maintain an edge to both of my careers as a teacher and as a park ranger. And you know, if I don't have a good night's sleep, about 1 o'clock, I start to tail off, and it's pretty challenging.
So would you say the ZQuiet had turned you guys' lives around?
I think it's made just a huge difference in our lives, and just that the bedtime is supposed to be calm and quiet and relaxing, and sometimes I like to read a book and just go off to sleep, and I find that's so much easier to do right now, knowing that I'm going to be able to stay in my bed and set my alarm next to my bed and be able to get some sleep. So I think it's made a huge difference. Huge difference.
I feel more wide awake and well rested. I mean, there's really no doubt about it. You know, I saw this little apparatus that came in the mail, and I thought, okay, you know, and it was a big okay. I mean, it works wonderfully.
So with the ZQuiet, would you say that your guys' relationship has been mended? Well, you guys were. Let me rephrase that. You guys are already, you know, close, but would you say that the ZQuiet has helped your relationship?
I would say the ZQuiet has made a huge difference in our relationship. Just it's taken a whole level of stress and anger and frustration, especially around the evening time and the getting some sleep and making a plan for the following morning. Absolutely.
Yeah, I have to agree with that because, you know, Lisa's a pretty easy person to get along with, and you know, for her to get so frustrated with me when well, maybe it's my fault, but I don't think it is, then, you know, I know that there's a problem. And I was getting to the point where I was going to start investigating a CPAP or another, you know, medically prescribed apparatus, but...
The thing about snoring too is it's not like something Don was intentionally doing, but I was treating him like he was doing it on purpose. So it really kind of brought out a vicious side of me that, and especially with it being involving your sleep, but he would just feel so horrible when I'd wake him up, but it wasn't like he was intentionally doing it. So it is kind of a funny problem to have, but I would blame him like it's his fault. And there were some nights we'd have all my daughters, we'd all be listening and laughing, and I mean, people could hear it throughout the house.
You laughed at me?
Anyway, so.
So would you guys say that you love the ZQuiet?
I love the ZQuiet. Absolutely. Absolutely.
You know, I love the ZQuiet, and you know, it's remarkable. I don't know that I'm snoring. I don't know that I'm not snoring unless Lisa tells me. And plus, unless, you know, if I'm well rested in the morning, I know that I've worn a product that works.
How long have you been using the ZQuiet, and what is the number one reason why you keep using it?
I've used the ZQuiet now for about 3 months. The number one reason I continue to use it is for, you know, Lisa's benefit, number one, and it ultimately helps our relationship, and just the feeling of having a restful night's sleep.
I have to agree.
So which one of you love the ZQuiet more?
Well, I'll take that credit because he kind of can sleep wherever he is, and he goes to sleep really fast, Don does. So definitely it's benefiting me more because I'm the one that comes in usually later to try to, and I like to be able to go right to sleep, but once that anxiety would set in, it would take me even longer to settle down. So I have already recommended it to several people because this is something we talk about. I mean, this comes up more often than I'd like to admit with friends and family, and I'm just amazed at something that seems so simple of a mouth guard, which I think is a healthy thing to wear in your mouth at night anyway. Dentists recommend them. And that it's actually made such a difference, and it's not painful, it's not changing, it's not a chemical. Anyway, it's very portable if he remembers to take it with him. So I wouldn't be here today if I didn't really believe in the product. I'm just amazed, just really amazed.
And so am I.
Great.
Real quick,
You guys are awesome. Okay, thank you.
Answer to, oh, I'm Sean.
Hi,
Hi,
Sean.
Sean.
You can answer to Frank. Are you guys thankful to the folks behind ZQuiet? Just answer to him.
Okay. We are very thankful to the folks behind ZQuiet, absolutely, that they've been able to come up with a product that is very user-friendly, and it benefits us as a couple, absolutely.
And when I saw the interview on the website, there was such an honest enthusiasm, with the person who was developing the ZQuiet. I definitely felt like it was going to be worth a try. Yeah, so I'm very, very happy that we came across ZQuiet.
Very good.
Frank, you can ask some more questions. Otherwise, if you can just get them kind of engaging, interacting, that'd be great.
Yeah, I think we're at 25, so we're okay.
Can you get some of that? Though? Just get the two of them.
Oh, is it just B-roll or?
Yeah, just fun stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you guys dance?
Oh, no.
We don't-
I was hoping that wouldn't come up.
Yeah,
I
right,
love
me
to
too.
dance. I love to dance. He's scared to death to dance.
Like, how would you guys dance?
To music. We need music.
Yeah. Sean, music?
No, I would just say,
How would we dance?
Yeah. Just demonstrate how you.
How would we dance?
Oh, we did take a dancing class once.
We
But
did.
it's been a while.
I've taken 4 ballroom dancing courses. I'm still pretty much all toes, so
Anyway.
but it is fun when we get an opportunity.
Yeah.
so you guys just interact, just affection. You can dance if you want. You can just
Oh,
give
whatever
a
you
hug.
want.
Just
Just something.
Keep it G.
Yeah, okay. But ZQuiet, I mean, truly has helped us, right? All right.
Oh, my
You guys are
goodness.
so cute. Don't be shy.
Oh, really? We're just not used to being in front of a crowd, but we are a very affectionate couple. I mean, we're not usually afraid in front of people,
prove
but
it.
Prove it.
that's a dare.
Yes, it has been a wonderful 26 years. And I look forward to another 26 years of restful sleep. So,
I forgot.
We good, Sean? Okay. Cool.
ZQuiet.
Great. Thank you so much, you
All
guys.
right.